Hi everybody, we're back again, Gondorian and Mojumbo, bringing you the final match of the winners bracket between Busty and KA Leo. So they've kindly waited for us to do the switchover, so they should be starting the match any minute. Do you want to say hi, Trevor?
Hello.
You want to say hi, Trevor?
Hi, Trevor.
And Kyle's still there as well, muted, but sometimes he says words of wisdom. Got any for us now?
I'm very sad that there's no fire snakes. We need more shadow heroes in these tournaments.
More fire snakes.
I'm wondering why the Twitch is saying that we're offline.
Is it actually saying we're
Should be
offline?
back online again now. I think people need to maybe refresh the channel. It says we're live. It's showing me an advert now. So I think we are on. Show me an advert. I'm on. So other people need to refresh if they want to see something. Sometimes Twitch messes up. Buggy Twitch. Refresh the page. I can type and talk at the same time. So Busty, hopefully we'll start his match now with K Leo and we'll get going. So this is a best of 3 to decide the winner of the winners bracket. And the loser then drops into the losers bracket, and then they have to play in, I think, the semi-final of the losers bracket. It's really complicated. Mojumbo, you're trying to sort it out.
The loser bracket got all messed up because the forum basically just didn't generate it correctly at all. It was generating buys for no reason and stuff. It was like, wait a second, this isn't right. It wanted the first round to play like 4 rounds. It wanted someone else to have 2 buys. And I was like, that's not right.
So you're manually fixing it.
So I'm like trying to fix it. I already told people who they have to play manually to like get it back on track and everything.
I see. So what happened with Rafael Majer and Monomax? Who won that one?
I believe Monomax ended up being the winner of that.
Right. Slowtown beat Black Mask, didn't he?
I believe it's the other way around. Black Mask beats Slowtown.
Okay. Mojojo and Pandemonium.
They aren't actually playing. It's Pandemonium and Black Mask that are actually
right. Okay.
That's where the problem occurred, was like right there.
Right. And I'm chatting to Busty now on IRC, and he says he's ready, but KA Leo isn't. So
yeah, Leo just messaged me too, so I told him he can start now.
Oh, great.
So
okay.
We've both been informed.
Switch back over and we're to hop in. I believe we're going to see an Amber. Is that right? I heard that Leo was using Amber.
Sounds good to me. So what do you think so far? You been impressed by all the decks?
Oh yeah. I mean, clearly these have been tuned to perfection. They've thought about what the meta is going to be. They picked the heroes to best match that. That's why it looks rather like a restricted variety. But I guess if everybody's thinking one thing, then you play the thing that can counter that thing, and it all shuffles around, just like in all the regionals and so on. And tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if it all shuffles around again, based on what people have learned today.
That's true. Yeah, this basically day 1 gives you information to help both construct your deck and sideboard for day 2. Big emphasis on the sideboard factor there too. Actually, that'll be really important, because if you see what works when there is no sideboarding, well, now there is sideboarding tomorrow. You can use the information of today to do that. Oh, what's up?
Game is up. I'm hopping in.
Epic. Get in there. A1 Busty. All right.
Everyone's got foil advantage. The other has sleeve advantage.
Sleeve advantage, foil advantage. Who's your money on?
Wow. It's a Mournblade sleeve, so that counts double. It's a good card, because it's a 5cc card, so Leo's gone first. Busty, someone needs to get that guy some sleeves. Oh, he is going to get some. for making it to the grand finals.
I have just posted some brackets, challenge brackets, in the chat. If you look at that, that is what the lower bracket should look like.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm interested.
I had to do some engineering to make it look right. Black Mask and Slowtown had to get their names swapped.
The challenge comes to the
Beyond
rescue.
that, it's all good. Everything is correct now. You just use that challenge bracket and you're good.
Right. So, Lion Dragon and Mojojo is still in. Poochie's and Black Mask are still playing. Monomax and Pandev still playing. Right. Okay. Although Challenge has got an option of a loser of P if necessary. So
Yeah,
that
basically,
actually
don't worry about any of the results, reported results. Only worry about the future.
Right. There's no point worrying about the past. Past is history as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, man.
So again, we've seen this diplomat coming out on turn 2. Trying to do his thing. He's been crippled now. Someone's took his scroll away from him. Aldon's down. He's got nothing to buff. Trying to remember what bust he had in his deck. It was a very control-oriented one, from what I remember. The Seductress is putting in work here.
The KA guys, they just love that. They love the Diplomat. I saw in the last stream Diplomats were getting played, and look, there he is again. You know, the squirrel bear waving it around.
It's an awesome art.
I like him. He's a cool dude.
I remember writing the art description for that guy actually, and he pretty much came back like requested. He looks very kind of like, yeah, I've got a scroll and that means I'm important. I could talk the armor off a sandworm if I wanted to.
Yeah, that's how suave a negotiator he is. He just does that. Like that guy.
A lot of thinking going on in this. I mean, this is the winners.
Yeah, man, this is the winners' finals.
Bracket.
You want this to be like, you know, this is the best of the best. There's got to be thinking at this stage. This is really when every decision matters. They're so close to that big prize, you know. They're so close to getting into that best of 7 playoff.
It's interesting here. Neither's got a blood frenzy yet. Although is that just because? Oh, Busty must have skipped a sack before as well, right?
Doing the busty thing. Skip a sack so they can play the stuff versus.
He's got that down. No blood frenzy on either side. Now that wouldn't be deliberate. That wouldn't be like, I don't want my clock to tick down because cards are king in random matchup. So both have got bad luck on the draw then, I guess. You don't normally see such a slow-paced warrior on warrior battle. The cards in the hand, obviously, you've got to decide what to get rid of, what to keep. You've only got 1 or 2 there to keep. Blood Frenzy completely changes everything. So whoever gets that first, maybe that will dictate the winner. Oh wow, 3 resources left and couldn't spend it. What's in that hand? Now the Blood Frenzy's hit.
That's always important. Hitting the Blood Frenzy is exactly what you want as the warrior. Not having it is just like painful.
Both of these are running Spectral Saber, aren't they? So
I'm pretty sure, yes. I'm pretty sure
there's one there.
Just to confirm our suspicions, there's one now.
Just wondering though whether you would hold on to that to take out an Enrage, or you would just try and get rid of the draw engine as a player. Because there's so many good warrior attachments and only 4 Spectral Saber. Really, every time you get rid of one like that, then that's damage that could have come from Amber as well. So
It's true.
difficult decisions that these guys are going through at the moment must be really tough.
Oh, definitely.
That diplomat is still on the board.
It's a trooper, that diplomat.
Are you surprised to see two Ambers here in the final of the winners bracket? Because she wasn't that
Not
prevalent
really.
in the regionals, was she? Or was she the winner of one of them?
I don't think she won any of the regionals, but she was always around. Like, she showed up in like every tournament. People always piloted her, but I don't know. She's always kind of been like a good quick match hero. People recognize her as strong, so I'm not entirely surprised.
She's a great anti-mage call, and with Ladwin running, winning 2 recent tournaments, and then various threads about Ladwin being overpowered. There is an Amber Rain is overpowered thread as well at the moment, though.
That's true. It's true.
It's a tough call. You give a recap on what heroes are left in the lower bracket? So we've got Lion Dragon, he's a Ladwin, isn't he?
Yep.
Then Pandev, Monomax. Monomax was Amber, wasn't he?
Yes.
Pandev was...
I know what I'll do. I should just jump in there and look. That's what I should do.
Jump in and look.
Yeah.
You jump in and look,
First,
you won't see this.
First, I have to adjust more names. Yep, more names to fix that lower bracket. It's still liking being broken.
The health on both these guys really high. This could be one where they end up running out of cards. Because if they've each got the counters to each other, even just like retreating things back, crippling blow, and so on, they can burn through that deck pretty fast when the draw comes out.
Yeah, definitely. That is a real possibility.
Lone out on there. Otto's popped in to say good luck, Busty. At least no one else is spamming that chat. I think the finals last year, there were so many people popping in to say good luck. It just got ridiculous. So
Good luck, good luck, good luck, good luck.
Yeah, it's like continuous spamming of good luck. Do you think that KA Leo's got some like 6 cost or possibly even a... Well, okay, he's got a Jasmine.
I think so. I think so.
Holding on to something important. What could be the important thing? Possibly like a King's Pride?
Hey, we haven't seen that, have we? I would love to see a King's
No.
Pride. King's Pride will be cool. The King's Pride.
Saber there. Could always be holding on to another Jeweler's Dream. But this is like really tense play. They're both... Nobody's like going for it. They're measuring each other. They're thinking, what can I do here? He's not got a lot of cards either. It is going to end up being a battle of attrition, this one, I think. There's a crippled Aldon, a crippled Diplomat. The fleet-footed messenger could end up being the key. Although he's crippled, he can still send messages via SMS or something, or emails. He can do that. So it doesn't matter if he's not fleet-footed anymore. He's
Still
more
delivers
like,
emails, it's all good.
Yeah, he's limp-footed, but he can still send those messages and get those cards. There you are. See, I think it was a second Jeweler's Dream in his hand. You would never sack a Jeweler's Dream when you're using your other weapon as a attachment removal. Does Carl want to jump in here and give any comments on how it's going? Would you, when you started the game more than 2 years ago, do you want to talk us through maybe Amber's original ability, what that was? Couldn't she use 2 weapons at one time, something like that?
Oh, you mean dual wield?
Yeah, we should probably just skip over the whole origins of Shadow Era. Some people may know that the game was actually first launched and several heroes weren't actually usable because there were no weapons in the game.
That's
Back in the
actually
good old
hilarious. So you have a hero ability that's like plus attack for weapons, but there's no weapons in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
But the weapon was coming, and then she had one that didn't use shadow energy that did double damage with a weapon. Wow. With Berserker's Edge, what, she was doing 10 damage? I remember that now.
Yeah, wasn't Reserve Weapon called dual wield and did something slightly differently at one point?
Yeah, Reserve Weapon was called dual wield, yeah.
And it used
Because
to do,
it's an
I think
item.
It was double
Doesn't make
damage.
sense. No, I don't think dual wield did anything different. It just gave you back a weapon. But have we seen any reserve weapon in any of these amber decks? It's normally in there, isn't it?
Oh no, I think it's mostly it's pretty much been just the Jeweler's Dream and Spectral Sabers, and like nothing else.
They've gone very ally heavy. Normally, I'd expect in a warrior a weapon deck to see something like 10 weapons or 10 ways to have weapons. So you'd have your 8 of these and then a couple of reserve weapons. Literally reserve weapons. The card. She can come back and smack you real hard with a well, with anything because it adds 1 damage. Spirit Warden, they really like these cards, KA. You see a lot of these tech cards.
Oh, hey man, they use lots of Dark Prophecies. They're using Dark Prophecies art for Amber. You know, maybe they just really like Dark Prophecies.
That would make sense. He can't be retreated, of course. That's Spirit Warden. 2 crippling blows used up already. The Spirit Warden's there saying, come on, try and cripple me and my horse. And we're not going to see any kind of graveyard manipulation here anyway. Because reserve weapon just puts something back to the board, doesn't it? So Spirit Warden wouldn't block that. Or does it only block allies anyway? I need to zoom in.
Spirit Warden?
Oh, it's been crippled.
Spirit Warden stops allies.
Right, so he's completely irrelevant now. He's just on the board. The source is crippled. The messenger can still put in work. That's handy. But Busty I wonder how many allies will end up on each side of the board. Once all these have been crippled, we're going to have like a long line again.
Oh, like that one game where we had like, what, 5 or something?
5 or 6, yeah. The Spirit Warden has just chucked away something. Seductress is hit. The Blood Frenzy looks like he's going for it now. Goes to show though what happens if you haven't got enough draw in the deck. They're waiting for the Blood Frenzy, but what other draw have we seen from either? Have we seen Bad Santas? I haven't seen any in this
Bad Santas?
either of these ones deck.
I'm sure they probably have them. I mean, Amber decks tend to run them. I mean, it's really good with a Jeweler's Dream. 2 resources and then...
Right. So maybe they were each waiting for each other to do it so that they get the value, or maybe neither had it. Because it looks like they've just been playing really slow and carefully for now, neither with the upper hand. And suddenly now Leo's decided, right, that's it.
And just some results on the losers bracket. Let's quickly mention that Pandemonium defeated Black Mask and Monomax defeated Poochie. So those two have moved on further.
So will they now be facing each other?
Now they're playing people who trickled down. Lying Dragon and Emigor are battling them.
Oh, right. I think we could end up doing a part 3, because of this losers bracket thing. But we've got to put the players first.
Yes.
Give them the best chance.
I had to pull out all the stops to fix this challenge bracket for them, and I even had to there's a bunch of fake results in there that don't count now.
Fake results.
I had to rename people and stuff. It was kind of funny. I was like, Poochie isn't supposed to be here. Rename him to Pandemonium.
Okay.
Yes, for whatever reason, the forum bracket and the challenge brackets are completely at odds with each other. So I'm just making sure the current pairings are right and don't care about the rest.
So the way the double elim works is in the losers bracket, whoever moves on then faces whoever just fell down. And then they pair it off, and then whoever wins there faces the next one who just fell down. Is that the...
Yeah, it's sort of like the two losers bracket. If you pair off, the winner will face the guy that just fell down the round before in the winner's bracket. And then that kind of keeps happening.
Ooh, treasured heirloom. More card draw. Ooh, wouldn't you be annoyed if that seductress got crippled? Wouldn't be good. Retreat would work though, because it triggers off being destroyed. So I love some of the chat in the stream from people just making complaints. Let's enjoy the match, hey? Things go wrong all the time.
Things do go wrong, but we're fixing it.
Other things. Do our best here, and it doesn't really affect this match. Let's carry on.
This match is still fine, and the lowers bracket is actually playing out correctly, so we're okay.
See, when you look at that board from a distance, it looks like the seductress is crippled. But she's not. She's got an heirloom. Well, Busty's trying to decide, what can I do here? How can I take her out? Jeweler's Dream, full Jeweler's Dream. Because that won't be enough to take out the seductress, so she's going to hit him back. Or do you go with Ally instead? So Ally's quite
the question.
The Valiant Defender could end up being the difference. If only he could get a few more allies out. So he's suicided the Eldon. But given card draw away. What a Jasmine's hit. That's good because the Jasmine can distract the next person. This is like the antithesis of the Aladwin mirror match we saw the other day.
Oh,
which was
yeah.
Just
that was just
go for
throw
it.
Fireballs, supernovas everywhere.
Yeah. This is really going to take some strategy to win because we've got a 22 health from Amber down this side and the other one is on 12. So actually Bust is in a lot of trouble. Clock's ticking away, but there's not really much damage coming towards him. So he could die to his own clock.
That's true. That could happen.
Jasmine's crippled.
That would actually be very interesting if he was just to clock out like that, just kind of die over time. Like, oh no. I still think Valiant Defender's a cool card, though. He made it all the way to the finals with that Valiant Defender, so it must be doing something. It must be working.
Must be paying off. So that fleet-footed now is going to have to go at Amber, who's going to hit him back for like 3. And then he can be finished off now. Well, it must be quite hard to decide what to do here. The tension. There we go. So blast into that amber. Fight
Valiant
defender
Defender fell
on
off.
10 health. Could really do with enrage or something now. Why haven't we seen any rampage? Because the expectation would be there'd be a lot of allies around.
I think it works like this. You go in Rage, it's like, say, 10 health. And they go, okay, plus 10 health. Or in Rage, it can be 10 health, but it takes 5 hours to get there. And they might think, well, attachment removal's being used, so if they remove my Enrage before he gets a plus 10, then Enrage might have been the better card, or maybe Rampage would have been better, but I think it has to do with the fact that Enrage gives you that instant bump, 10 health. Rampage just doesn't.
And they're choosing not to kill allies as well. Well, actually, there are quite a lot in the dead pile, but the crippling blow, I guess, is there. So
if we think Burn Racing Mage, having a bump of 10 health out of nowhere can kind of put you at a range of, say, a Fireball combo where just plus 2 won't do it. I think it has to do with the fact it comes like in a burst, all 10 at once.
So easily taken away, as we saw in another match.
Well, that's exactly it. The cost is that a Spectral Saber. It can cost you the game if it just gets pulled off you at the wrong time.
My warrior decks, I tend to run one of each, because if you get both on,
that's a fair compromise. That's not actually bad, because if you have both, you can play them both, and then maybe one gets countered, the other doesn't.
And now Busty's got a nice position on the board. I'm zooming on that. Nope. There we go. So a Jasmine, a Seductress, and a Puan playing the Spectral Saber as an actual weapon.
For attack. He's always going for the damage. He wants to do it.
Damage. Yeah, he just needs to. The Blood Frenzy clock.
And there he is, the Diplomat. He's waving his scroll again.
Diplomat. This is it. Whack next turn. Dead. So Busty really needs to find that enrage, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He's in a scary position. He's in a scary position, and Leo knows it. So Leo's trying to press that advantage for all it's worth. This is actually kind of interesting because Busty chooses to use Valiant Defender, which means the allies can't be attacked, but the hero can. And then you look at the health difference between the two. It almost would suggest that the Valiant Defender causes your life to get really low, really fast, because all the person can do is attack your hero.
Yeah, I guess you're saying, come at my hero, because my allies are going to blast you, but he just didn't really have the allies early on to take advantage. Every time it was just blocking the attack of one ally.
Yeah,
and then that ally got crippled. So it hasn't panned out in this, but maybe it's what got him all the way to the final of the winners bracket. Probably not that one card, but I'm sure it must have paid off somewhere. Or he'd be auto-sacking it, surely.
It's true. He chose to play it, so there must have been like something it did.
Just anything that does 4 damage now, and would have all been over. While this, depending on what Busty's got here, he might be able to do this. He needs 13 damage. What he's got is 13. No, he hasn't, because the Seductress is only 2 attack. He's not got enough. Sorry, my math's bad there. So I thought they all had 3 attack. I think the Seductress originally had 3 attack, but that was
all done, probably. Something like that, maybe.
Yeah. He's not definitely dead, so he can distract that Aldon, and just hope that a weapon doesn't appear. So it's really
Fingers crossed.
It's gone down to the wire. And Aldon then would have been like a dream, wouldn't it? That would have been a win for Busty. So has a weapon been found? We've seen a lot of weapons already. Question is, has he found one?
This is a close game. Oh, there he goes. He's digging further. That fleet-footed messenger. Oh, did it do it? It got him a weapon?
It's got him a Dimension Ripper.
Oh, damn.
Wow, that fleet-footed messenger.
So fleet-footed messenger just decided to find him the win.
Got out his mobile phone. No mobile phones allowed usually well, unless you're playing on a mobile phone in any kind of ammo test. Well, in this case, he dialed it up because he was crippled and he said, "Hey, give me a weapon, dudes," and it just showed up. Excellent play. So that's 1-0 to KA Leo. So long ago, I can't remember who started that one.
Well, let's take a quick peek. Was it Busty or was it Leo? It was a nice 27-minute game, for trivia's sake. It was a nice long one.
27 minutes, yes.
27 minutes. It was good. I mean, those two players knew what they were doing. They went down to the wire. We saw how close that was.
Went really close. Just an out on there.
KAL went first.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if Busty had the Aldon, he would have won, and then a fleet-footed messenger just barely got the weapon that was needed. That is some exciting stuff, but we just found out that KAL actually uses Dimension Ripper.
Yeah, that just showed up on the scene.
We've seen lots of Jeweler's Dream, like Spectral Saber, but now there's Dimension Ripper in the mix.
So maybe he has got the 10 weapons, access to 10 weapons after all.
It's quite possible.
This next game will be up in a minute. This is a best of 3, so if KAL wins this, then Busty falls down to the loser's bracket and will take on one of a few different players. Either...
There's 4 different options that he could bump into. It's Lying Dragon, Monomax, Mojojojo, and BP Pandemonium. Those are the 4 he could bump into. We don't know which one of them's going to make it. Only one of them will. One of them's going to do it.
Right, okay. So they've got a few matches to go yet then. So losers round 4 has to happen. Then losers round 5. Then Busty or KLEO will meet that person. Yeah, it says loser of O. Wow. Yes, they're quite a lot behind. I think we could end up going to part 4.
We could. It's possible. Wouldn't part 4 be cool?
Part 4 would be epic.
Have some excitement factor. It would be just
You have
fine.
this fought all the way through from the start in the losers bracket. Did anybody drop down to the losers bracket from the start? Any of these 4? Monomax was... Yeah,
Let's
he was...
check. Yeah, we can check by
Monomax.
just going to the old bracket. And yes, Monomax.
He's the only one, I think. Black Mask made it to the... No, wait a second. Or should I not believe the challenge bracket? Anyway.
The challenge bracket's wrong for that part, but we can look at the
okay.
bracket. So Monomax did indeed... oh, wait, did he? Make sure this is round 1 here. Yes, it is. Okay, so yeah, Monomax did. He's made it all the way. He's struggling through from the start.
So he's the only one, I think. Mojojo made it to round 3. Black Mask made it to round 2.
Yeah.
So Monomax is the one that's had to fight through hard.
And still is fighting even now.
And it's another Amber. Amber versus a lad winner. Amber should have a good shot. Let's switch back to the... They haven't started the second one yet. That must be tense. Really tense.
I think so. It's a definite possibility.
I think where Busty is GMT +2. He's a European guy, so it's nearly 1 a.m. there. KA Leo. I'm not sure what time it is where he is. I think he said it was midnight before, but that can't be right because I thought that he was in China.
Yeah, I would think so too. And if he is, it would be 12 hours or so ahead of me. Maybe like 6, 7
6 a.m. or something. Yeah.
It's early morning for him.
Early morning.
Alright, just an update. Lying Dragon and Monomax are they're in game 1 still. And Pandemonium and Emigor are... Which game are they in? They seem to be in game 2. Emigor won game 1, and now they're playing game 2.
And this one's still waiting to start.
Yeah, we're just waiting on those two to...
Oh, well, I guess I should plug the Shattered Fates Kickstarter then.
That's a good idea. Do you want to
We're
bring that up on
waiting.
the stream even? Let's see it, stare at the pretty screen.
Well, you actually want me to bring up the page with it on?
You could.
I'll do that.
It's completely up to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know now. Let's flip back to that. See if I can find it.
I'll keep spying on this result and see if it starts up.
Okay.
See if the
So,
oh.
Shattered Fates is our third set of Shadow Era that we've been working on since about March or before. I mean, we've been collecting ideas for cards for even longer than that. And in April,
the right person went first.
They've started. All right.
Yeah,
I won't tell anybody about that then. I will jump back.
Jared tried to plug. We're going to leave that Kickstarter for after. The second we get an opening, we're going to plug it. You guys are going to
Okay, I've jumped in now then. Yeah, we'll plug it. These guys, they really didn't want to have things plugged today.
The second Dusty heard that Shadow Fates, he was like, whoa, start the game.
Well, let's get in. Come on, let's get going. So, Rusty making his decision. His first player. I don't think we've seen any one-drops from him. We haven't seen any one-drops. Well, we saw a Chris at one point. At some point in some match, there was a Chris.
And so there was a Chris.
From either of these two. So, Rusty's really hoping to get that Poohin. A Poohin and an Aldon. Suddenly, things will be looking pretty sweet. I wonder whether he's going to skip a sacrifice in this match. Like we've seen him do a couple of times. To make the Seductress pay off.
He might. He tends to do that. We've seen him do it at least 2 different matches, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does it again here.
Because you keep the card that you would have sacked, and you get the value from Seductress. Which is probably worth the card anyway, so it's two
that
reasons.
Value, yo. That value.
That value, yo. Exactly.
That's how you say it. Man, is that value.
So this is the question. Does he have anything useful for turn 2? Bad Santa.
That's pretty useful on turn 2.
That's pretty useful. This game, I think, is going to go a lot quicker then because they've got both full hands. They were kind of, what's the word, card poor in the other previous one.
They missed their Blood Frenzies for a little while. They didn't play a Bad Santa, so they were dwindling at the start. I mean, that's why it kind of took a long game. It really grinded out. This one, if they keep their card hands full, it might be like much quicker, much heavier swings.
And it's back to Busty. So no 2-drop for him. He's probably going to want to get, say, a Jasmine down now because she's got good. He hasn't got anything to use the Seductress on, although he wouldn't have anyway been able to. A Jasmine now and a Seductress later, I think, would be a solid play. Would you play a Blood Frenzy now if you had one with that many cards?
That's always an option. I mean, the opponent did not play an ally, so you don't feel pressured into playing an ally. Like, you don't have to. He chooses to. But it's possible. You can kind of go Blood Frenzy, turn 4 Jeweler's Dream, pump it, and then say use a retreat to knock his 3-drop away. Like, that, it's okay. It's basically trading board presence for card advantage.
I'd like to give a shout out to AA Killer AA in the chat, who I've not seen before. Must be a new person.
The double A Killer.
Pseudonym. The double A Killer AA. Yep. Chatting away in the stream. Thanks for
could be a pseudonym or
tuning in. You're new. Hello. Hope you're enjoying it. I hope you're learning things. I saw earlier you said that you were looking forward to Shattered Fates. It is good. It is really good.
Shattered Fates is a good set.
I'm not just saying that.
It's true. Shattered Fates does bring a lot of new to the game. It is exciting. It has the excitement factor you want.
There's a number of reasons why it's really good. Firstly, the first set, we weren't fully involved in designing it, So when we hopped on board to rebalance it and add the last cards, we were new, we were from the community. We did our best, but there wasn't a lot of room really to change much. Dark Prophecies, a lot of that got designed while we were rebalancing Call of the Crystals by mostly by a design team member who's no longer on the design team, and the emphasis there was on meeting needs in the set rather than doing anything kind of exciting and dangerous and kind of new stuff. I mean, there are new things in there, but if you look at the cards that have been played in this game and other ones in the World Championships, got the Seductress. She was put in specifically to help people who go second. The Fleet-footed Messenger. He's got the haste and the finding stuff in your deck. That's for helping people out who haven't got great draw. The Laerian Diplomat and the Morbid Acolyte, that's there to take away the passive abilities. So there was a lot of cards put in to act as answers for the previous set and what's around. Whereas Shattered Fates, we've got all the questions, we've got all the answers already in the game. Now we can start posing a lot more questions and taking the game in loads of different ways. And I think you would have seen that already from the spoilers. So it just...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
10 new heroes as well completely shakes things up.
It makes things spicy.
I love it every week when we give out more spoilers and get the reactions and get people excited about it.
I'll be honest, I'm excited about it. That's why
I like
come
playing
out
with
already.
it. I'm kind of spoiled for choice. When we play games on the design server, it is sometimes hard. You feel overwhelmed by the amount of choice.
Oh, that's true.
You might have to artificially constrain yourself.
There are times where I'll pick a hero, and I'm just like, I'm doing this. I don't care. I'm doing this, and I'll avoid all the other cards that aren't this. And it's like you force yourself into a position because there's so much to do.
Which makes the job of the PFG hard because they're trying to get coverage for us to find broken combos. Well, it's quite a large area to be covered, which is why the Kickstarter beta access will give people who've pledged a chance to see the set early, as well as help us to try and find things which could potentially be harmful to the game if they're overpowered. So I'm looking forward to that part the most, I think, when the early beta access opens for Kickstarter, if we hit the target.
Should be exciting.
Back to this game.
Back to this game.
Hey Leo is being slowly worn down. Busty's put himself on a clock. He's on high health at the moment, though.
Yeah, that could be the deal breaker if Busty keeps a blood frenzy and Leo doesn't, and this life discrepancy is this huge. It might just stay that way.
Because you'll be able to keep sacking and getting threats down. You really want to try and get to, say, 6 resources, although the Jeweler's Dream helps out.
Oh, it helps out a ton. In this case, he just plays an Amber and does not sacrifice, but that blood frenzy is going to keep on pumping him up, so he's going to keep getting more and more stuff than his opponent is. It's like, one extra card every turn the opponent doesn't get. So Leo right now, he definitely wants to either end the game quickly, which is probably hard given the life total, or he needs to find a blood frenzy of his own, or do that.
Spectral Saber, yeah. He knows he's got about 10 weapons in here, possibly more. So he can use that as tech. He's buffs up his weapon there. If you were holding a Dimension Ripper now, would you play that mid-game? I guess if you didn't have any other weapons, and you're that low on the clock.
Mean, we've just mentioned the issue about draw power. He doesn't have draw. He might want to just play Dimension Ripper and start stealing cards. That's a good way to get something in your hand. For now, though, he's pumped his Jeweler's Dream, and he's thinking about what to do with it. He could hit the Jasmine, but hitting the Jasmine...
Can get hit back, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to lose that life.
But she's going to hit him anyway. Huh? What happened there?
No, he passed.
He buffed it, but didn't hit anybody.
He passed it back. I can only imagine he either actively chose not to attack to preserve durability, or he was maybe ran out of time. He was overthinking it. It's very possible that he might have been afraid of the Jasmine hitting him, and that's why he was thinking so hard about what to do.
Yeah, he couldn't decide in the end, ran out, because hitting the hero would have got the 3 on there.
It does have 3 durability left, the weapon, so it would have went down to 2 if he had attacked. So there must have been some justification for why he didn't. You see, Busty goes for the ally.
The ally's got a crippling blow on.
Again, he likely didn't want to attack into the weapon. He probably wants to preserve that
True.
Jasmine as
Might
long
as
as
well hit the ally, yeah, I see.
Okay, another Spectral Saber to kill another Blood Frenzy. That sucks to be Busty. He's losing all his Blood Frenzies.
Oh, and now we're kind of into that card drive situation again now.
Yeah, L's basically forcing it. He's saying, no, man, we are playing the no-draw game. The Jasmine is protected by Valiant Defender right now, though. It can't be attacked. If he attacks, he has to go to the hero.
And he's just spent the 4. That is quite an expensive way to get rid of attachments, but really don't want somebody to have draw against you.
When it's Blood Frenzy is the attachment we're talking about, I think it's something you just got to do. You just got to stomach it.
Because they've already spent 3 to put it on, haven't they? And
yeah.
So you're spending 4 to get rid of it. They've been taking a bit of damage. If
It's
they
just
only
a
just
matter
put it
of-
on...
They're going to get too far ahead of you if they have a Blood Frenzy and you don't. Like, you're just not going to keep up. So Crippling Blow, again, as you pointed out, it counters that Valiant Defender pretty nicely, but now there's an Alden in play who's like, I'm not crippled.
You're not. How many cards both have still got in their deck? Loads.
Yeah, draw is not a thing this game. They don't draw cards this game. They just have singular cards being played.
So top decking isn't very... They should have just run Bazaar, surely. So I made a... After Dark Prophecies came out, I wanted to try and make a deck that made Smith Shop work. Because we put cards in that you can try and build around just for fun. Will they pay off or not? I had a Smith Shop deck. And I put in an insane amount of draw, Bad Santas, Bazaar, Treasured Heirloom, and it enables you to like play expensive weapons a bit cheaper. And actually, it was good fun. Dimension Ripper for 4cc? Yeah, alright.
Yeah, man. That's definitely fun, especially King's Pride for 6.
I don't tend to play super serious decks. I like to pick up on those cards that people don't try. I tend to not want to use decks that are popular either. I'm just a deck building guy, really. Than a player.
Fair enough.
And if I was in this
now... Spectral Saber just took out another Blood Frenzy. This time it was reversed. It's like, now Busty took away L's Blood Frenzy. Quite the funny game we're seeing here.
Lily might have been a useful card in this, because you can get back the weapons. And then
or even a Braxtonorian Veteran to get back the Blood Frenzies.
Oh, yeah. Well, if someone put in a Lily to get back the Saber and another put in a Brax... We have seen Brax.
We have, actually. He showed up earlier, and indeed, he gets back Blood Frenzies. That'd be great right now.
Really wants that draw. I don't want to give too much away about the next set, but it should be taken as a given there'll be some more draw engines in it. We've already seen that today with False Blood Cultist. Now, is there more draw options in the game, then as long as they're not like... I mean, Bazaar is giving a card to your opponent and you every turn. A lot of people don't use it because they like the draw advantage. We still have to put in cards like that for balance reasons, similar ones. But then sometimes you get the uber draw cards like False Blood. Pitch a card away, get 2 back.
False Blood is pretty cool. He's a pretty cool guy, and he just likes to burn cards from what I've seen.
So
burns through your deck, as it were.
Yeah, he burns through them quite well, yeah. Was there discussion on the stream earlier about what he's holding in his hands? The False Blood Cultist?
Well, we figured it was the shuffle bug had affected him negatively, and he was burning all of them.
It's like, duh!
He had 3 copies of like King's Pride in his hand, and was like, he burning them all.
I think after this game, I'm going to get some cherry coke or something, just to excite me a bit, and I'll start be more interesting. When people are trying to decide what to sacrifice, I'll get hyped up on Cherry Coke, and then yeah, it'll be more entertaining. Apologies.
Cherry Coke is good. I actually have a Coke right now.
Just drank some green tea. That's where I went wrong. Sorry, everybody. Green tea is not what you drink.
The green tea has just calmed you down too much.
I'm just too chilled. Got to wonder when that Dimension Ripper is going to make an appearance. What it will do to the game. The sleeves will tell us who's got what. So, who do you reckon is going to win this?
I don't know. I mean,
they're close on health there because it's an enraged down.
This game has been so, like, they've been hitting each other so well with the counters. Like, no blood frenzies are allowed to stick. The weapons keep dying, and I guess Busty's kind of like getting a footing on allies, but at the same time, there's a jeweler stream there threatening to start getting rid of the allies.
But it's not got enough to. It can take out the Poohan, but it can't take out the other allies. Okay, well, Alden's just whacking into it, so okay, he could get...
Alden's now damaged, and then I think Jasmine, she's sitting back.
She's got that distractor power. She's chilling there. I wonder how, say, a Yari Spearman would have paid off in one of these decks, because it's a relatively cheap protector. You cripple it, but it's still on the board. That might have been a good, if you're expecting warriors, that might have been a good call. Yari Spearman. Yeah, I don't think either of these are using protectors. That's another way to protect those allies.
It's true.
If you get 2 down, that's nice value. They can't easily be wiped. I think they'd cause a lot of trouble. Because the Spearman only costs 3, and he's a 1/4. Protector. Could have panned out pretty well.
Yeah, the Spearman, especially if you get 2 Spearmans out at once, you get like 2 2/5s with Protector. Yeah, it's not bad.
That's solid. But as all the answers here seem to be crippling blows, then that Protector would actually get in your way.
Crippling blows and retreats is basically the answers of choice that we can get in.
Need a way to take him out. So KL's got the more cards, but the board is looking in Busty's favour. I wonder if he's got any spectrals left.
There we go. A Jeweler's Dream is easily going to swing it right back. They love doing that, don't they? Just Jeweler's Dreams and Spectrals just swinging the board back and forth constantly. It is just all over the place.
Fighting it out, bludgeoning each other. He's got 3 left to spend. What's he going to drop? Seductress would be perfect at this point. Nothing. Nothing. Maybe it's just another weapon.
It would be perfect, but he chooses to drop nothing.
I guess if he's got another weapon in hand, he can't really do much. He's not got the draw, so he can't really choose. So, given that he's 1 game up, maybe he's playing a bit more conservative. It started off like it was going to look like a faster game, but then they keep answering each other's cards and running out.
Yeah, I mean that's really it. They just don't want each other having that draw power, and that's been the tale of this game. It's just like nope.
Usually you wouldn't expect so much control if you said Amber deck. You wouldn't think that much control really. But these ones are they've gone for the anti-attachment. Well, you would expect crippling blows, but Jasmine's doing the distracting, and Seductress is doing the disabling. It's very much a case of whatever you do, I'm going to counter it. If we tried to count up the number of counters in this match, I think it'd be at least 20. Everything that one guy's done, the other guy's matched it with something. Eventually, they're going to run out of either questions or answers.
See, one of them is going to be the one to falter, and that's the one who loses, pretty much. They're going to answer each other forever until one of them just doesn't have it. But with the lack of draw power, it's actually quite possible that that's exactly what will eventually happen, is they'll be like, oh, no Blood Frenzy finding any of your stuff, eventually you run out.
Would you cripple an Eldon, because he's still on the board there? He can't be replaced by another one, but he's still buffing things.
Yeah, it's the kind of situation where it sucks when you have to do it, but sometimes you just have to do it.
I suppose you wouldn't cripple a Jasmine because she can distract.
Yeah.
You. So,
when you're in this position, you might not, because the distraction can really affect your ability to steal the board back with your allies. There goes the weapon. This game is just so back and forth. I think Busty has the advantage because he keeps having the allies out where L has to answer everything.
Yeah, eventually if you've got the allies out and there's no answer, like we saw in the last game, that eventually would do you in. Although Busty almost clinched it, didn't he? He had the 3 allies out.
He almost did. It was so
turns
close.
in a row. He was so close. And the Dimension Ripper came out at just the right moment. In this game, though, Buster's ahead on health, so...
And the Enrage is in Leo's side, so if that gets pulled away, let's say, that could, affect things.
Oh, that's true. Busty hasn't used Enrage yet. I've got to say, I really love the graphic used for Disabled on there with the bandage. There's both a bandage and it's a cross. It's saying this card ain't doing much. Passive abilities still work, but... So AA Killer AA says he or she, I'm guessing he, got to assume he, only plays Amber. So yeah, if you only play Amber, you're watching this Amber matchup, you're going to be learning a lot. The kinds of cards that you'll be putting in. Eclipse has just shown up on the stream. Busty's got this, no question, he says.
No question.
It's actually pretty level on the health, but look at that board. That board is looking pretty solid now. In the previous one, Busty was down to such low health that
yeah,
he couldn't take advantage. But
he was down to low health and didn't have Enrage or Rampage or anything. But in this game, it's actually almost deceptive, because does Leo really have 17 health, or does Leo have 7 health with an Enrage? That could be ripped away at any time, which would completely kill him.
Well, he can now hit for 9 with those allies that can hit, plus 3 from the weapon. Valiant Defender, I think, has just clinched it. Because all those allies are going to stick. I suppose they might get retreated, but... A1 Justicars popped into the stream to say hello. Why, he's saying go Busty, actually. Any KA Leo fans in the stream? Must be like 5
question.
or 6 a.m. or something, so...
Yeah, the Leo fans are staying up really, really late.
I'm getting up early. Five health left for Leo. He's not called it, though. He's still... I'm not sure how he could answer that with 5 cards. Oh, sorry, 5 resources and 2 cards. An armor, possibly. An armor would block quite a lot, like the Legion United or something, but I don't think we've seen that. No, he scooped. Congrats.
Scooped him up.
Busty.
Busty!
What a Busty! You didn't make it to this, but you just got a shout out live over Wolverine Games Twitch
that
TV.
Makes it 1-1 now, so we have
One
a game
apiece.
coming up.
Now the question is, are we going to see loads of draw in the next game, or is it going to be another long one? Because wow, this is taking a while. We will be handing over, I think, to finish this off a bit later. Back to Kevin and Lewis. Can they change heroes? No. It's all decklock. The entire thing is decklock. Today, tomorrow, they can use sideboards, but they can't change heroes. It's part of a sideboard. You could put 10 heroes in your sideboard, and then you could just swap out the hero. If you just use, say, human cards. And not use any class cards. I suppose you could swap Amber for Boris? No. So a sideboard is where you've got your main deck of 40 or more cards, and then you've got a separate deck, sometimes called side decks, of cards. In this case, it's 10. So after the first game, you can bring in cards from the sideboard into your main deck and swap out cards from your main deck. And then in the third game, if there is a third game, because you might have lost 2-0, you can do the same again. Then in the next round, you always start off with your main deck again. So tomorrow will be, I wonder if people will go more for heroes that have actually got access to more tech, or what. It's
really up in the air. They might play completely different builds thinking their side deck could help them, or they might just play the side deck with their main builds and just adjust.
And it looks like it'll be helpful to the losing player, but remember that the whoever's won has just learnt about who they just beat.
Yeah, it helps both players because both players gain information on the opponent, and then you're going to adjust your deck to whatever they're doing. You're like, okay, they're doing that, so I'm going to do this. And then they go, oh, you're doing that, I'm going to do this. And in fact, you might end up countering something that's not even in the deck anymore if they take it out.
Yeah. So there'll be more surprises in store tomorrow anyway. Depending on who sides what in. Cards we probably don't normally see.
I find with sideboarding, the trick is not usually so much what you side in, but rather what you side out that matters. Because it's easy to say, oh, this, and this will help me. But it's more like, what do you take out to put those in without affecting the mold of your deck? That's where the skill comes in, I find.
If you were allowed to, if this was a sideboarding match now, before the final, what would you be taking out and adding in?
Oof, that's a good question. I don't know. It's like stuff like, say your deck starts off with 2 Spectral Sabers, and you go, oh, I'm against a Warrior. I want like 4, because I know for sure there's going to be attachments all over the place. Crippling Blows, Blood Frenzies, and Rages. Yeah, man, 4 sounds great. Or, normally it's 2 or 1. Or so you go up in there, and then you might be like, okay, because I put those up, I'll take some of these out. That's the question, though. What do you take out?
I'd probably be sticking in some... they don't really seem to have trouble finding their weapons. So
they
I'm not
don't.
sure if I'd put in reserve weapon or not.
Even that could be like a side choice. If you think your weapons get milled or destroyed too much, yeah, sure, go ahead.
The reserve weapon, though, that extra 1 attack, won't pay off, though, will it, if Amber buffs the weapon? Unless you brought it back with a +1, like bring back.
Generally, you'd be playing it for bringing it back. That would be the idea.
Yeah.
To bring it back, buff it, it gets the +1, so that would be advantageous to you.
So maybe I'd play a Lily, just for getting my weapons back, because she sticks on the board. She brings the weapon to hand, and she's on the board now as an ally who has to be dealt with. A 3/4 ally. You just got back. I think the only items I've seen in either of these players' decks are the weapons. There aren't any other items in there, are there?
It's true.
So she would be bringing back those weapons every time, and she'd be an ally on the board. And it's like a draw, isn't it? So
Pretty
she's
much.
a cantrip, really. I would have put Lily in there. That's what I'm putting in my next Amber deck.
Okay,
actually.
so let's say you do that. Let's say you hypothetically put Lily in. What do you take out?
Yeah. Ooh, what do I take out? It's a tough call. I haven't seen the entire contents of the decks yet. Damn you. I just increased my deck size, but you're not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed, exactly. You got you.
Not allowed.
Has to
I
come
take out the Valiant Defenders, to be honest, because although they block things, the Lily, which is So cantrip in a way. So she costs 4 and she draws you a card. I mean, Belladonna costs 4 and draws you a card, but she's a 4/2, and Lily is a 3/4. So she'd be sat on that board with an Algon behind her. She's 4 attack. You've just got back that weapon, which actually you can play back down again a bit later. So yeah, I reckon Lily. Does anybody use Lily in there, Amber?
I'm sure some do.
Oh, it's only just occurred to me.
It's an option.
Because
I mean, it's
it
a
gets the
perfectly
card
valid
back
option.
into hand. You don't really think of it as a cantrip, but really, it is.
It
and
is. It
if
is.
you've
It
only
pays
got
for,
those items,
yeah,
you're going to be getting a weapon back.
pays for itself. Like, boom.
So these guys starting up their next one. These people don't use Lily.
Just got a result in. Emigor has 2/1 Pandemonium.
Right. So Pandemonium is out. Amigor is still in. Obviously. Lion Dragon, what happened with Lion Dragon?
They're still in Game 3, those two.
Right.
So what that means is that Emigor here has at least made a top 4 finish.
Okay. So we can work out who's made top 4 here. Can we,
Yep.
from double elim?
These two guys in the winners' finals are automatically in the top 4. Emigor is now top 4. The winner of Lion Dragon against Monomax is the 4th one. Those guys are top 4.
And they all get some prizes.
They get the epic top 4 prizes, yes.
Okay. So AA Killer Ace says he's not going to run Lily. So there's better 3s rather summon a weapon on 4th turn. Yes. It's true, we would all rather have that, but when draw's a problem, if you're only playing an ally out, you don't get any draw, because there's no cantrip human heroes, is there? So, I'm not heroes, allies. Bringing back the weapons, especially bringing back the Spectral Sabers that you just put down as a card to get rid of an attachment. What is draw a problem, your BF? Yeah, it keeps getting removed.
Yes, we watched that game. We watched BFs get removed like maybe 3 or 4 times.
The whole reason why both these games have been quite slow is because there's not enough draw going on. We've both taken half an hour, so I don't know. It's just a theory. It's just a theory. Give it a try. Lily might pay off. That's all I'm saying. And I never said I was a world champ either. I was asking what we'd do if we were sideboarded. So I would bring in Lily and I'd lose because I don't know what I'm doing. But
that's
there is some
true.
logic in it, right? There's some logic.
There's logic. It's definitely plays for itself. It is like a cantrip, but neither of us are world champions. I don't know. It makes sense. Maybe they'll do it, and then we can be like, look, they did it. That means it works.
They did it. So, because, okay, the other draw they've got in there is Bad Santa. So that's 8 possible sources of draw in the deck. Lily is a body that has to be dealt with. Bear in mind, we're talking just about Amber here. So, what would be taken out? They're not shuffling the decks, and I don't know what's happened to either player.
Yeah, shuffling their decks. That's a good idea.
They're shuffling them.
I think they're just shuffling it up, good to go. You know.
Shuffling them. BP MIP says the design team always make up way too complicated plans instead of simple efficiency. Allegedly.
I don't know. Something like a Lily sounds pretty simple. Play it. Get
Designed a
card
bunch
back.
of cards that have been used in this matchup, so maybe we're not that daft. Spectral Saber, for example. We designed it too good. Laerin Seductress designed it too good. Maybe.
Yeah, well, that's the question. Is that too complicated, or is it simple efficiency?
Pretty complicated, that. I'll have to take one of these decks, add Lily into it, take it to quick match, get really good at playing, and then See how it fares.
Put your theory to the test. Your epic theory. You've like crafted this now. You have this new deck. You're going to play it. It's going to be done on the ladder. So keep in mind, you might find Mr. Gondorian himself laddering, and you'll know exactly what deck he's playing.
I wouldn't run 4 Lily. I'd probably run 2. So the chance of her showing up early is low. Chance of you already having an item in the graveyard by the time she shows up is higher. She's cantripped herself. If you look at these games where they've got like 2 or 3 cards in hand, or sometimes 1, then by playing her and then bringing a weapon to your hand, you haven't lost any cards. So I would probably have 2 in there just so my number of available weapons was something like 12, I guess, overall. And
Not
she's
bad.
replacing herself. She has to be dealt with. A 3/4 actually is pretty annoying if you've got Aldon in your deck, because suddenly it's 4 attack. Boom. You can take out Jasmine, you can take out Aldon, you can take out Seductress. And Kilt's going off to bed.
Going back to bed, he says.
Going back to bed. See you guys.
So I got the update. What basically happened is K.A. Leo quickly went off to make a cup of tea for Game 3.
Tea. You should have told me. I
Yes.
could have gone to get a cup of...
Maybe he thought you were getting the cherry coke and he went to get his cup of tea. So we're just waiting on him, and then we'll jump into Game 3.
Should we talk about where we do tend to see Lily? Because I'm finding this debate quite interesting. Everyone's saying to be daft, but we do tend to see Lily more in like a hunter deck. Usually she shows up, doesn't she?
Yeah, Lily to grab Soul Seekers has definitely been a thing in the past. The Gwen decks like to do that. And the idea there is just because they're going to ITF you. They don't really care about Lily surviving so much as they just want that weapon back.
I'm going to try and bring up the losers brackets now to see where we're up to, because...
yeah, we're just waiting on Lying Dragon and Monomax to finish up Game 3. Then the winner of that will face off against Emigor. Then the winner of Emigor and his opponent will play the loser of this finals match we're watching.
So it's Monomax, Lion Dragon, which is Amber Aladwin. And then we've also got Mojo Jojo / Amigor, who is Zaladar. Right. When this is done, then we'll pick up with the winner of the losers brackets, I guess. But no, because one of these will fall down.
The game is now up. Game 3 is up.
Right. Okay, let's hop in. Let's see what happens here. Maybe Lily will show up.
Assuming that Lying Dragon and Monomax are done by the time that this game is done, we would have 3 matches left.
Yes, we'd have 2 rounds of the losers bracket and then the big final.
Yeah.
Who picked this format? It's taken forever. Why did
I think we may have had a part in that in picking this
They
one.
should have put Bazaar in. It would have finished these games. People say that Moonstalker takes a while. These guys just countering each other every Yeah, so who started that one? Leo started that one.
All right, place your bets. Viewers, who wins this game? Who wins it? We need bets placed.
We need bets placed now, and we need people chanting for who they think should win.
I personally put all my money on Amber.
Foil Amber, though, or non-foil?
Well, there is a distinct term known as the foil advantage, so there's an advantage here. But on the other side of the coin, we have sleeve advantage, so I don't know. Those cancel each other out.
His Amber is foiled, but will his plans be foiled?
Ah,
That's the question.
we got a thinker here.
I really like those Shadow Era sleeves. I want to get me some of those. My magic cards. You should sell well, they sell Zaladar sleeves. Human's down, putting in some work now. And Aldon would be pretty sweet now, just if he does the 3 damage. Jasmine could sit down. It must be getting quite tiresome though. Every time you're playing an ally, the next turn somebody neuters it. So
A game of threats and answers, you could say.
yeah, absolutely. And over the past hour, they've learned a lot about each other's decks, about what answers each other's got, what has done well for them, what hasn't in the game. Blood Frenzy there. Will that immediately be removed? It usually is.
That's true. With the way we've been watching, it's like, yeah, it's gone. It's not staying. Just thinking about it. What sack choice does he make? There's even a possibility that he might be thinking, do I stay at 3 and just play like a Seductress and lock out that Puin?
True, and keep a card.
So that has been happening a couple times in these plays.
Nobody yet in this matchup has got down to 0 cards, but that's because they keep getting rid of their Blood Frenzies, isn't it?
That is exactly why. It's a very anti-Blood Frenzy crowd we're dealing with here.
Since both only got up to like 6 resources, they've only got rid of 6 cards from their deck. I'd love to know what's getting pitched. Probably late game, it's a Puin maybe. But then again, you just want anything on the board, don't you, when everything gets neutralized? So,
And to the surprise of no one, Blood Frenzy has been removed.
why that Spectral Saber, yeah.
Now the question's on Busty. Hey Busty, do you have the Spectral Saber? Oh, didn't
just
have
like,
it.
Nah, I'll go Bad Santa.
Not bad. Bad Santa Puin. That's about as good as he could have hoped for. Not having he locks his opponent's hand up, so no draw
Alright.
occurs this turn. And then he's got a second Puin there to really pressure the board. Now hopefully a Jeweler's Dream doesn't rain on his parade here, because it just might.
He'll take out one Puin, and the other one could lash in. A JD plus a Crippling Blow would be pretty crippling. Would you waste one on a Puin there, knowing that you can kill it off with a weapon?
You could. You don't have to. I mean, you could just let the Puin hit you and then it dies anyways. But maybe you're thinking smashing balls a factor, so you should anyways. Or maybe you just want to spend your resources as you get them. Out-tempo your opponent, play more cards than he can. It is kind of worth noting that L has Blood Frenzy and Busty doesn't, because Busty lost his. That could be another reason why you might be okay with using the Crippling Blow.
For sure.
And Lying Dragon has just reported that he won over Monomax 2-1.
Right, so LD is through now to face off against the Zaldar.
And that means Lying Dragon is top 4 material.
He made top 4 of day 1.
He did.
He's facing off against Majoja Jojo / Amigor. And there's the Crippling Blow. On the Puin. So that Aladwin Zaladar match will be interesting, but we've already seen one of those, haven't we? And Zaladar prevailed because of all his healing, so that is going to be a tough uphill battle for Lion Dragon.
It's true.
Zaladar Amber. Have we actually seen any Zaladar Amber yet? That would be a tough
I don't know that we have.
Especially, say, if it was Kaelio with his Dimension Ripper, that could really shake things up.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Please shake some things up.
Shaking things up is always cool.
If you've got a handful of answers here now, would you sack any to get up to 4? Because there aren't that many things to answer at the moment on the board. You're thinking ahead. As long as I've got all these answers in stock, I'll keep hold of these, because whatever he puts down, I will find an answer to.
That could be a reason for not sacrificing. Like, if you want to go that route, just hold on to all your cards, don't sacrifice, and then you'll have unlimited answers, but it can be tough to play them all if you do that, because you just don't have the resources to do it. You'd really need the Jeweler's Dream to be out. Now, he played 2 allies in that turn, so he is pressuring Busty. But if Busty simply has a weapon, it's quite possible that it won't break him. That issue still doesn't apply. The blood frenzy for one player and not for the other is definitely a factor that's making Busty less than happy.
I'm having to think. I had this one quite a long time. It's got a lot of cards there. I think pretty much we've seen their whole decks now. We know what they've got. Can't think that we haven't seen any retreats in these two games, have we? I thought both players would be running them, or I've seen them run.
I would have thought so, but it's entirely possible. Well, hey, who knows? Maybe they're sacrificing retreats in favor of crippling blows or something.
Yeah, because
with the lack of draw power, it's entirely possible they're just not hitting cards they want.
Because a retreat, you've lost the card from hand. You just put it back in your opponent's hand. They're immediately going to drop it down again. They know they've not seen any kind of protectory things. Maybe those are the cards that are getting sacked. Yeah.
Possible.
Retreat works well with Lily. True, Shadow Ryu. You're right.
Back to the Lily discussion.
Yeah. I think I would have liked to have seen Mournblade actually in this deck, because that would be going up at quite a huge rate. These allies are dying, although a lot are getting crippled. A lot are also dying. So that would get up to a nice high number.
It would be cool, but what would likely happen is it would just get hit by a smashing blow just before it gets to the point of being like a big threat.
Yeah.
Like you'd leave it when it's at 0, and then when it gets to like 2 or 3, you're like, okay, boom, blow it up.
Oh, I've seen a retreat.
Oh, there's retreat, and I believe that was played just because you asked for it.
Yeah, I asked for it. They gave me a retreat. Could have been worse. But that sturdy Spirit Warden with his 5 health is going to be a bit of a pain to...
Steadfast too, so he is in fact immune to that retreat effect.
He's going to likely hit back at somebody if you try and deal with him. Crippling Blow's probably the answer. That's probably going to be what's going to land on him. I think generally speaking for Amber, anything with 4 health is get-atable, although she's got the JD plus the ability, whereas 5 health, that's making it even harder for your allies to deal with other allies. Another 5 health has just dropped the fleet-footed messenger. So those allies is going to be a pain. They're low attack, so would you spend a crippling blow on them or not?
You might be forced to. Especially if your weapon durability is at stake.
True, because they're going to ping it down, aren't they? And that could have hit the hero. So, just had to bite the bullet and smack into the Spirit Warden there.
And he locks out the fleet-footed, which both prevents it from attacking and from using its mail delivery ability.
Yeah. But the Spirit Warden can still attack him, but the Spirit Warden will die when it gets whacked back. So, that makes sense. Of course it makes sense, they're top-level players.
Yeah, when they're top-level players, they tend to do things that, just make sense.
Artful Squire showed up.
Wow. Artful Squire showed up and dropped himself in the graveyard really quickly.
It's looking like about half of their decks is tech here, or at least answers. So, like, you've got Spectral Saber, works as both a question and an answer. The Squire, again, I think just cards that are working both as a threat or an answer, if you can find those kind of ones. Even a retreat can work as both a defensive thing or an aggressive thing if you're bouncing a crippled ally or a hasted person. I think they seem to have really found the most efficient cards, stuck them all in their decks. And that's why we've seen this take so long, because they've been efficient with each other.
At this point, it's seeming like one person is clearly in an advantage. It seems to be, that the tale that's been spun this game is, well, one had Blood Frenzy, one didn't. And so now the board is slowly but surely spiraling out of control for the guy who had Blood Frenzy. And until now, the life advantage was like way in Busty's favor, but now it's starting to catch up. So even though the Blood Frenzy's been taxing L, it's like once you have so much board presence, it just doesn't matter anymore. Now it's a nice Santa Bomb. His hand is full, so he draws no cards on that particular turn. It's still terrible that he has 7 cards to stare at, because now Busty's like, really? 7 cards in massive board and I got nothing? This is not looking good for me.
Yikes. Yeah, that's all just showed up while I was being distracted by Pale Stitch over on Skype. Said, hey, look over here. I looked over there. Suddenly the board was full of allies to K.A. Leo. Yeah, suddenly he's gone for it. And look at the number of cards he's got in his hand. Wow. Busty's in a lot of trouble now.
Oh yeah, I think this is just about to wrap up, actually. I'm not sure he can get out of this.
Did the Squire act as Busty's
there you go. Busty's out. Pretty much that turn 4 Spectral Saber killing his Blood Frenzy, it really, really hurt him. He couldn't recover from that because he didn't have a Spectral Saber to get rid of the opponent's Blood Frenzy, so one person skyrocketed ahead and the other did not.
Right. So now Busty falls down to either meet an Aladwin or a Zaladar.
Yep, depends on
K.A.
who wins
Leo
that.
can have a bit of a nap. Because there's 2 rounds to happen.
This is the perfect time for him to stop, collect himself, maybe eat some food. He can watch his opponent's games and scout out what they're doing. It's nice to be the winner and just have a chance to take a break where no one else can.
Speaking of taking a break, we're not going to take a break now. We're going to jump into the next round if it started. A Lion Dragon and whoever else.
Lion Dragon and Emigor.
Yeah. And they're playing. They started 6 minutes ago. So let's hop in. This will probably be fast-paced. Got those hot sleeves again. I'm loving this. Anybody who hasn't got sleeves and's got some spare shadow crystals, got to get some Bloodlust sleeves and Cover of Night sleeves. That's really cool. Don't use them at the same time. That's not allowed. You must just use one type of sleeves, as it's cheating. Even though you've got all the different sleeves, sorry, only one at a time. So this is going so fast already. Admittedly, we're playing catch-up. That helps. Cohen's taken out the Karash. Saladar's dropped the antimatter, so it's a nice draw engine there. The Aladwin doesn't have easy answers to that. We saw a Shrine of Nagasha earlier. Bounce 1. How many Zaladar games did we watch earlier? Was it 1 or 2? Or
just one, I think.
I don't recall seeing any mind controls in that game.
I'm sure he must have them.
I think we'll see some now with the sandworm hitting the board, because he's a stubborn guy.
Yeah, I think so. It's probably a safe bet.
Furion Terror, nice use of that there. Zap plus Furion Terror. Aladwin though has just killed the Furion Terror with her ice damage. Would have killed it anyway, but he really doesn't like ice.
Not at all.
There's an MC in the house. So who do you think will win this one?
Aladwin and Zaladar. I have to say I'm going to give an edge to Aladwin for one reason. The Bloodlust sleeves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was hoping for a serious answer there.
That's the serious answer you get, is that the bloodless sleeves are just so good that I could see them doing it. I can see them doing the work.
If this Aladdin works her magic fast, she's a mage, so. And the Zaladar can't get enough allies in the grave, then Soul Reaper won't pay off much. The Shadow Vein is going to help Aladdin get up to her full Shadow Energy quickly. We knew from the other day that Lion Dragon had Aeon, whether or not he's still got Aeon in today, we don't know. Usually you would think Zaladar, but it totally depends on if the Amber's going fast, which this one is, and she's got the board, then even if you heal, you're just going to get pummeled the next turn. So, actually, you might be right with your serious answer, Bloodlust.
So the bloodless sleeps then.
How
After everything is said and done, bloodless sleeps.
How did he get so many cards in his hand?
So many cards, bad
Yeah,
Santa.
was he not playing them? The other guy, why hasn't he got so many? Because he's been playing answers?
Bad Santa, my friend. It does those things. Basically, the guy who plays it, he has less cards because he played the bad Santa, while the other guy's bombed up to 7. So that generally happens if you get Santa bombed. Your hand's just massive for like a turn or two afterwards, because it's still early in the game and it's harder to just dump out your entire hand.
Right, true.
Zaladar's really going to work with those zaps, though. He's just zapping everything. Oh, nice. Disciple of Aldmore.
I think you might be a bit behind on me, actually.
Oh, am I behind again? Before I was like ahead and now I'm behind.
He's just used antimatter. There's a disabled Disciple of Ogmore on the board. He's got rid of Shadow Font and played Soul Reaper, had Desperation. That
confirms that he has Soul Reaper.
Yeah, he had it, but there weren't really that many allies in the grave at this point. He's staring down an Aldon that's going to hit into 3, a Seductress that's going to hit into 3. The Disciple is...
Disciple
just
refuses to die to Aladdin's ability. It's not going to die to that. It's like, you're going to have to kill me the hard way. And there you go.
With lightning.
Killed the hard way.
Yeah, on paper you'd think that Aladdin might struggle, but it could just be the way that this game's gone. Because those allies stuck.
Well, this side when Aladdin likes to play fatties too. It doesn't just play that death racing style, so it's not like hard countered by a single Soul Reaper, you know? It's got the Aeons, it's got like the Sandworms, it's not just going to be like, oh no, you played Soul Reaper and healed 10, I'm dead. It has enough board presence that it can keep fighting you. And Morphic Armor is probably not going to do much either, because I don't think Aladdin has much in the way of attachments, you know?
Well, we saw it block 6 damage yesterday, which I think won a game for somebody. So,
I believe it was relevant. I don't remember if they won that particular game, but it did block 6 damage, you're right.
Yeah. See, that's just block 2 there, which should actually pay off. Zaladar's got 10 resources, and only now 14 cards left, plus the 2 in hand. Antimatter, like a Furion Terror, plus a Zap now would deal with the Aldon. No, he's only got 4 to spend. A Karash. Not enough to... Oh no, he did have enough for the Aldon. Okay. Well, that swung it a little bit.
It did. There's Nova to say.
I was wondering about the Nova, yeah. The Nova.
It is like you didn't swing anything.
The Fireball, boom. Game 1 to... That is game 1, isn't it?
I believe that was game 1, yes. It's a Lion Dragon. He's done it with the Fireball Nova combo. It's a fabled combo. It's very powerful. Not sure it's as powerful as double Fireball, but it's something. So I guess the Bloodless Sleeves really did it that time, you think, yeah?
Guess they must... You were totally right on it.
I mean, that was I predicted it that way, and it happened. just as predicted.
I've got to say hi to a quick match player now called Hi.
Hi.
70. I think it's
Hi.
Hi.
Maybe
Not
it's
la 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 la. It could be he. Could be. Hey, interesting. There's somebody on Quick Match called Grey Cat. Any relation to Grey Mouser? Is it his nemesis? I'm wondering.
Oh, I think the gray mouse might get beaten by the gray cat.
Grey Mouser. Looks like they've kicked off the next game, so we'll hop in, see if the right person's starting.
Yeah, I just hopped in now, and let's see if they restart. Nope, looks like it's good.
Good to go.
We got a live game on our hands.
Live game. Exciting times. Amigo has to win this, or he's a goner.
Still made top
Dragon
4
wins
though,
this.
so he made good prizes. Top 4 is a good prize area. Good finish.
Prize area. Very impressive. Still got tomorrow. Props to him for using a hero that wasn't used as much as others.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd have loved to have seen an Elementalis in here, though. Badura.
Oh man, the Resource Destruction Baduro and the Elementalist buffing deck, those would have been some cool inclusions in our little event here. Maybe we'll see them tomorrow. It's new day, new decks.
I think it'll be the same day for a lot of these people, actually. By the time this is finished, the ones that crashed out early, they get a long rest. Whereas these guys, it kicks off again at 2 p.m. GMT tomorrow, which is probably 12 hours after this finishes. So I think this will probably go until like 2 a.m.
This finishes to get a chance to like sit down, eat something, take a nap, sleep for like 8 hours, get back up, and good to go again.
So on the board here, GMT, let's get whacked. But he managed to get the Seductress in range of Zappage. And the champ is also in range of Zappage, unless he plays an ally too early. It happens.
It does happen. It's true.
Shadow Font, building up now to take out more allies. The Worm. Shout out to Scotty Too Hottie from WWE. Special move was the Worm.
I
I
remember
don't know what's happened
actually.
to him now. I know
He had that crazy hair, didn't he?
Yeah. Scotty Too Hottie was from the tag team Too Cool. Anyway.
He was a cool dude, that guy.
I think he teamed up with Rikishi at one point.
Yes, it was Too Cool and Rikishi and the other dude, the dancer dudes. The three of them danced together. And Mind Control just took out a Sandworm.
Yeah. That's a pretty straight swap there, except Aladwin's just taken 2 to the face from a worm. She was slapped in the face with a worm. Which is never pleasant. Especially not in a game at this level. Question is though, has he got those Aeons? Because if he's trying to provoke the mind controls with the worm, and he's got an Aeon, then he can drop allies behind. He's only on 5 resources. It's tough. If you've got 2 cards left, would you sack 1 to get up to 6? At this stage. It's a tough call, isn't it? He's got 3 now. But
I think you kind of had to.
So in this case, he skipped the sack. He's gone a 2, and what else?
What I'm really worried about is the fact that Aladwin's Shadow Energy, it's just getting too high. It's at 7 now. That's 2 turns worth of it. Like, damn.
Yeah. Salvar's walking in. She's got even higher. Is he thinking now, just forget it, I won't bother playing allies? But he needs the allies on the board to heal unless Antimatter pitches them. Oh, Antimatter's not out yet, unless my memory's really terrible. It's not. So there's the Aeon. There's the Aeon, right.
Confirming it just for you.
Leon's there now, and okay, he might provoke some mind control, which would be super value for. There we go. Okay, sorry everybody. Still, we've seen 2 now, 2 mind controls. Trouble is that Aladwin's just been hit for 5 as a result of that. She's dropping down now. I think is that 16? Yes, 16. 2 cards left. I think this could be a best of 3. This could have a decider. Or do you think that the sleeve advantage is still going to pay off?
I think the sleeve advantage is strong with this one.
But look at the card advantage with Amigo. Wow. More
Aladwin's at
resources.
10 shadow energy. That doesn't happen.
Yeah. Well, as long as you can get, say, 2 allies down, she's not going to easily deal with both.
That's scary though. She can go like ability.
That's interesting that the Jasmine was zapped there.
Oh, there we go. A Disciple of Aldmore says,
right?
I don't care if you have 3 uses of your ability charge. You can't touch me with it.
So do you think the DMT was only played for the pin? Really?
Yeah, I think it was just played to kill off that Jasmine and get the board cleared up. Zaldar knows that he has like quite oppressive board control right now. He's really keeping Aladwin out of the game. He wants to keep her out of the game by never letting her play allies. And there's a Sandworm, which pretty much says, you need mind control, otherwise I'm going to get back into this board.
Laerian Diplomat would be useful now, I guess, to try and talk that old more disciple into not being immune to shadow abilities.
That is entirely possible, actually. That could happen.
Hey, by the way, you know that shadow stuff? Yeah, just let it happen. Go with the flow. Yeah, okay. I've just been iced. How dare you? I know she wouldn't be able to say that. She'd be frozen, wouldn't she? Oh, another one. Wow. What an onslaught.
Yeah, it's getting scary. Okay, maybe sleep advantage isn't working out this time. Maybe I need to rethink that.
Yeah, I'm sure that it was the decider in the first game, but I think the decider in this game is a bit different. AA Killer AA in the chat is asking, how many bad Santas do you guys usually take? I'd probably 3 or 4, I'd say. Because sometimes 4, because that increases the chance of getting on turn 2. So you can always sack it. So you might. It's a great card to top deck as well, late game. So
yeah,
depends what other draw answers you've got. But I think in the World Championships, I'd probably go 4, so that I've got a very strong chance of not being draw screwed. But what I know, I just run Lily. So. And back to this game now. It's not all finished quite yet. Some of the allies have been taken out. But, man, there's a lot of opportunities now for Amigo to heal if he actually was so low on life.
Yeah, this game seems to be favoring Emigor quite a bit. I mean, the whole time it's kind of been in his favor. Aladwin's actually the one that, ironically, is the one running out of HP. She's the one that's getting like raced down by like zaps and stuff. Normally, you're thinking lightning strikes is like the Aladwin thing to do, but no, Zaldar like, no, I'm the lightning strike guy. You sit there and die.
Yeah, you sit there and die.
You can have 10 shadow energy. I don't even care. You just die.
Will we see an Honored Dead? Will we see a Wizard's Prayer? There's a good tech card. Wizard's Prayer, heal 4 by removing 4 cards. No, probably not. But
we saw some really interesting tech cards. They could happen, you know. Can't count them out. We've seen some interesting choices this set.
White Dragon seems to have conceded on this one. Yep, so that's 1-1. Wow.
Cool. Heading into game 3 then.
Excitement. Super excitement. 1-1. So who do you think will take this one?
Well, okay, after that, yeah, I think the safest bet I can make is just keep claiming that some sleeves are going to make the difference. It's the Bloodlust sleeve. Because they're closely matched enough that only the sleeve advantage matters at this point.
I think probably having back-to-back answers to the Sandworm and the Aeon, having both those mind controls made a difference. If the Aeon had stuck,
Oh, yeah, for
then
sure.
we would
If
have
Aeon
seen-
sticks, it goes downhill very quickly because he starts pumping things up, and then like you can't deal with anything anymore. That's a fair point. Double mind control 5 and 6 is that's a powerful opening to counteract the fatties. So what about you? Who do you think's gonna win? I'm putting my money on the Bloodlust sleeves, but what do you say?
They've already started, you know, so I'm going to jump in. Have you already
Oh,
jumped into it?
I'm jumping in too.
Okay.
I
right.
still need to know who's gonna take this. Who is it?
Wow, well, the caliber of these players is immense. Mojo Jojo Amigor has just, as I've said in the kickoff, just solidly performed for months in tournaments, in quick match. He plays a lot of different heroes, so he's picked Zardar for a reason. He's got cover of night sleeves. I think I'm going to go Zal. As much as it pains me to see Lion Dragon get knocked out, I think Zalar's going to take this.
Hey, well, both of these two
My
are winners
prediction.
in their own regard because the top 4 alone already guarantees you some nifty prizes. So, I mean, it's all good.
That's true, and Lion Dragon might just win tomorrow's day 2, just like he won the last chance qualifier. He might win this one, but I'm wondering now, just all the Zap power that Zalar's got, and he's got the Disciples of Oldmore as well. Yeah, so I'm going for...
Interesting, actually, is the fact that Aladwin there has Tome of Knowledge down. But look at the card he
Nice.
discarded. It was the Shriek of Vengeance. That means he can't shriek the Tome anymore. So that draw engine
Not
might
with-
stick around a little longer than it would
Not
have
with that
otherwise.
streak. No.
Yeah, he'd need to have another Shriek, and he might not have it. It almost makes you wonder what was the other card he chose to keep. Like, was it a Mind Control? Because Mind Control Shriek is a situation where you're like, man, what do I do?
Yeah, that's a tough call, and he has seen the Tome of Knowledge from Lion Dragon.
Yeah,
already.
that's exactly it. Like, he
knows
sees it
it's
there and goes, no, I gotta leave it. And that must mean something.
Maybe he just wants to get those Disciples out. Maybe he drew a Disciple and thought, well, that card's going to stick. So I've got to keep that. Sorry, I've got to let the Shriek go. If Tome was already out, then he might have kept the Shriek.
That's true. That's true.
So the Disciple there's sucking up some good damage. It's been killed off now, but that's 6 damage that would have otherwise gone to to the hero. So that saves 6, and the Soul Reaper can heal 2 as well, so that's like 8 value she's done. To Soul Reaper happens. Hopefully this game finishes within 10 minutes, because otherwise we're going to go over our 2-hour mark.
Well, we technically have about 12 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't think
Be
that we
exact.
started that quickly, actually. I didn't think we started that soon.
It was about a minute or two afterwards, so around a quarter after.
So then the next round, I'm not sure whether it would just be us coming on again, or whether it would be Kevin and Lewis. Depends what their availability is.
Or some crazy other schedule I never knew existed. Like,
Yeah, switch it up.
like Kyle and Gondorian instead of me and Ian. See what I did there?
Well, Carl should be here already, shouldn't he?
That's actually true. He is on the call.
I am still here. I've been
He's
muted
still
all
here.
this while.
Still here.
I've been up all night. It's 7 a.m. for me.
Oh, nice. Pauling the all-nighter. That is effort. Good
Yeah,
on you,
these,
Kyle.
These games are really interesting to watch, so I love to see how it
Kyle's
turns
too
out.
excited he can't go to sleep.
Right.
That's the reason. So the sandworms hit, saying you're gonna... The mind control... I don't want to give too much away about the next set, but Elementals get some more kind of control cards. You'll probably still always see mind control on every elemental deck that ever happens, but they get some more cards.
Yeah. Diversifying options, that pretty much happens like across the board, really. There's options across the board for everyone to kind of do things a little differently. I mean, that's just part of the set design, right? You're always going to have more ways to do more stuff.
And while you're the guy who's dropped the sandworm that gets mind controlled, if you think of the elemental player that really needs that mind control as an answer, and you've only got 4, then it just gives people an option to run other answers that are quite the same, maybe not quite as powerful. More and more options. You can kind of fine-tune the deck better if you've got all those different options. Also make it harder, I guess, deciding what to keep or not. There goes the Acolyte. So although the one worm got mind controlled, another one dropped down.
And it's not mind controlled, so that one might stick. And if that one sticks, I think that's a thorn in Zaldar's side he can't easily remove.
That sticks, and then an Aeon pops down. Look at Lion Dragon on 9 resources now. That Tome of Knowledge is done super good value.
And that harkens back to dropping that Shriek of Vengeance on turn 3. It's like, did that matter? Will that cost him?
It may well. But the Eladwin's dropping down in health still pretty quick.
That's true, and Eladwin doesn't have the same healing capabilities like Zaldar does. We know that Zaldar has the Soul Reaper. Obviously, Eladwin does not have Soul Reaper, so she can't just jump up 10 health in the way he can.
Has he lost 5 allies?
I was just saying as an example. As an example, that could happen.
Yeah. Wow. LD's flooding the board.
He showed a fireball though, so there was a little bit of indecision there. He was like, "Fire, no, go for the board instead." Okay, he dropped a bad Santa. That's interesting. So he didn't want to give the Eladwin any more cards. He's probably fearing handing her more fireballs. Knows there's one fireball, doesn't want to hand her more.
iClips on the chat saying that Lion Dragon's got this.
It does look like relatively in his favor, but the life total is a bit of an issue for Eladwin, but I don't know if Zaldar has enough bursts to really capitalize on that.
No, especially with now that distracted gargoyle.
That's not going to help.
A mind control plus a zap plus a DMT would do, 3, 6, 7 damage to Eladwin. If you get it down to 5, take out some of those threats. Maybe a Shadow Vein next turn. But now he's down to 15, so it's still a die, I think, for him, isn't it? Fireball, of course we forgot the fireball, at least I did. It's looking good for LD. All of a sudden. But of course the Soul Reaper, don't forget the Soul Reaper. So whoever's saying that LD's got this, probably right. Previous world champion.
Hey, who knows? He could be world champion on this year as well, depending on how tomorrow goes.
Day 2. True.
So Zaldar currently is thinking about what to sack, if anything, while staring at a gargoyle that's just busy being infatuated with Jasmine over there. Gargoyle just can't help it. It's somewhat paralyzed.
Gotta say, I'm really pleased to finally have a foil gargoyle in my collection. Thanks to some DP stretch goals getting hit. We're close to this finishing now, but we're close to running out of time. I have to just jump off straight away.
I think we're good. We got 6 minutes left. This one looks to be wrapping up, so I think we're okay.
Does look close. Depends if we see a Soul Reaper or not. That will.
Now, even if we see a Soul Reaper, Eladwin's health is getting low enough that it might still just end.
Yeah, true.
One of them is going to die.
Sit there and die.
Yes,
Instead of
all I was going to say is
previous-
sit there and die while I use Soul Reaper. Now we know that a fireball was in Aladdin's hand because it got shown earlier. I wonder if it comes out now. No.
I saw one of those though.
This is information that the opponent, Emigor, can use against him, knowing, okay, there's definitely a fireball in your hand because you showed it to me. You probably didn't sack it because it would like pretty much kill me at this point. So he knows that there's 4 damage in hand plus what's on the board.
Yeah. He's spent 3 just to try and find something.
If that
Think
Soul
you
Reaper's around, he wants to play it right now. I think he's risking dying if he doesn't.
He's got rid of the acolyte.
Dropped an ally. That could be another ally for Soul Reaper. Nope,
Morphic
nope.
Armor's
Doesn't have the
gonna-
Soul Reaper, but Morphic Armor could block a lot of damage here.
Going to block 6. So, do we need a double fireball here? Or fireball supernova would work? Or even lightning strike and something else. He's down
There's
pretty low.
lightning strike. Oh, he should have it then. If he has fireball lightning strike, that should end it.
For some reason he's getting rid of the armor, which suggests that...
Unless he sacked the fireball. I mean, that's the one. If he doesn't kill him here, that would be why.
The champ's down, but man, I thought the lightning strike goes on. He obviously hasn't got the supernova then.
So he
This
showed
is
us the fire.
close. Wow, this is about to
Wow.
finish.
That's crazy. He sacrificed the fireball he showed us, and because of that,
he
he doesn't
used
have a
that.
kill.
He used that a
Oh,
while ago.
did he?
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
he showed it and then cancelled it and played an ally instead.
I know, but then he played it later.
Ah, okay.
He did play it. Mind control comes down on the worm. But how's he going to do 7 damage? He can't. This win belongs to Lion Dragon. Congratulations to him. He's now going to face Busty, A1 Busty, in an Aladwin Amber match to decide who goes to the finals of this. Well played to Amigor. I'm going to sign off now for the 2-hour limit.